Hello, I'm Chris Newton. See if you can spot what goes wrong in this scenario. A scenario, I might add, that happens thousands of times a day around the country.
Good morning, WFS Water Filters. This is Mark.
Yes, I'm interested in the water filtration systems you sell. Could you send me some information on that, please?
Sure. In fact, your timing's perfect. We've just got our new brochures featuring the latest models and prices. Can I have your name and address for details?
Sure. Benita Stevenson, PO Box 11, Maryvale.
Thanks for that. And now, is that Stevenson with a V or a PH?
V.
With a V. Terrific. Benita, I'll have those brochures out in the mail to you this afternoon if you like. And thanks again for calling. Okay, bye.
Now, you'd be forgiven for saying there's nothing wrong with that. The caller wanted specific information and the salesperson enthusiastically arranged to send it out that afternoon. Well, in truth, there's a lot wrong with that. Simply offering to put a brochure in the mail, no matter how polite or efficient you are, will actually kill off most of the sales that you would have got. You see, when callers ask for information to be sent out, they aren't actually wanting information. What they want is to buy. Sure, they want to do their fact-finding before they make a buying decision, but by the time they've phoned around, they'll probably have a half a dozen companies' brochures spread out all over the kitchen table, and they'll be desperately trying to figure out which one to buy from. They really didn't get what they wanted after all. So let's play that scenario again, only this time let's look at how Mark handles a request for information when it's done properly.
Good morning, WFS Water Filters. This is Mark.
Yes, I'm interested in the water filtration systems you sell. Could you send me some information on that, please?
Sure. I'm happy to help you with that. You know, in fact, your timing's perfect. We've just got our latest models in. And once again, my name is Mark. And yours is?
Benita.
Thanks, Benita. You know, there are a number of different water filtration systems we have, and each suits a specific application. So that I can recommend the unit that best suits your application and price, tell me, is this for home use?
Yes.
And how many people do you have living at home?
From that point, our consultant will ask key questions that build trust with the caller. He's got a great rapport with Benita. He may well still arrange to send out a brochure, but it'll be a natural progression for him to set a time to give her a follow-up call. What's more, and this is a really vital point if you send out information, when Mark sends that brochure, it certainly won't go out with an impersonal covering letter or a form letter. You know, the sort of inane letter I'm referring to? One that says, herewith enclosed information as requested, and please don't hesitate to contact the undersigned should you have any further questions. These form letters do absolutely nothing. It's amazing that they're still used today by some companies. In contrast, Mark's covering letter will be a real personal communication. Something like this.
Dear Benita, thanks for your call today and for helping me to understand your needs for a water filter. You'll find some really interesting information in the brochure. You'll see on page 2 of this letter that I've highlighted the model I recommend for you. I've written the price there for you too. It's an important purchase decision, so I suspect that you'll still have some questions. With that in mind, I'll call you in the next couple of days to go through those with you. Now, if you wish to contact me in the meantime, my direct line is 5547.
If you get the impression Mark could be sitting right beside Benita, speaking with her as she reads that letter, you'd be right. Great communication is all about being there with the reader. And the more engaging it is, the more that trust will be built. And of course, the more sales that you're going to generate as a result. This approach is a long way from sending out a brochure and hoping that it gets to the top of the pile when the inquirer is making their buying decisions. And by the way, one last observation on following through on the promises you and your team make. Some years ago, I had one of my team do a small research project. I had her call 10 companies at random and ask about their products and services, and then ask for information to be sent in the mail. What happened next was nothing short of very disturbing. Of 10 businesses that promised to send information, 3 failed to send anything. Imagine it. Those businesses spent money on marketing to get the phone to ring and failed to follow through. But it gets a lot worse. If you promised information and it fails to come, aren't you going to be totally disillusioned with the company? The company hasn't lost a sale, they've lost a valuable customer for life, and they don't even know it. Make absolutely certain that you have a system of checks and balances in place to ensure that when your undertakings are made, they are followed through. Look at the upside. If 10 out of 10 inquirers were followed up as promised instead of 7, conceivably these companies could have increased their sales by as much as 30%. It's worth thinking about and acting upon, wouldn't you think? And the story doesn't end there. Of the 7 businesses who did send information, only 1 actually took the effort to follow up with a phone call. You have to ask yourself, how many sales die on the vine like this? It is just too many to contemplate. And people think that marketing is hard. Often, it's just showing up. So, let's just recap. Don't fall into the trap of passively just putting a brochure in the mail. It's a guaranteed sales killer. Only send out information as part of a sales process, which means asking questions, building a relationship with the caller, and truly finding out what they want, and then sending information with a letter that's tailored to the discussion you had on the phone. So few companies do this, which means when you do, you'll dominate your market. Great marketing is often as simple as doing things and doing them consistently. I'm Chris Newton.